The June 16 festivities surrounding the official completion of the $1.2 billion widening of the UEP Long Bridge that spans the Mississippi River outside of New Orleans included a 5K race over the bridge, a second line, a ribbon cutting, and procession of antique cars like those that would have crossed the first opening of the UEP in 1935. There was even a visit by the Kingfish himself. It was a great day for politicians in the community who can now enjoy a safer bridge crossing and the promise of economic development on the city's West Bank. It was also a great day for the team that had worked so hard since 2006 to deliver this engineering marvel. The project was made possible through the Transportation Infrastructure Model for Economic Development, or TIMED program.
This project, the widening of the UEP Long Bridge, a $1.2 billion project, is one of the projects that is in the TIMED program, which was funded through a 4-cent gas tax that was bonded out, a fuel tax that was bonded out to make this possible. This UEP Long widening project is one of this $5 billion TIMED program where we four-laned many of the routes throughout the state, and we were able to widen the UEP Long Bridge and build another crossing over the Mississippi River in the St. Francisville, and the bridge is called the Audubon Bridge.
In the week leading up to the grand reopening ceremony, the New Orleans branch of the American Society of Civil Engineers and Louisiana Timed Managers sponsored a symposium at the Old U.S. Mint on the legendary UEP Long Bridge.
The current railroad standard nationally was E72. That is the weight of the maximum axle that the railroad cars will put on the bridge. 90 kips, 90,000 pounds, but greater than the 72 pounds, which was 72 kips, which was the national standard. And also, along with that same reasoning, however, is that we are widening the roadways on the bridge while we're maintaining the railroad 2 tracks. And the loading, the live loading in a railroad track is roughly 10 to perhaps 12 times as much as the loading on a roadway lane, a single lane on a roadway. So that this structure, if we chose to add a lane as on each side, we are adding a load that is really almost insignificant.
Massman Construction began the pier widening phase of the project back in 2006. The contractor drilled dowels into the granite piers to attach new concrete, converting the formerly tapered piers into vertical columns. Massman used the patented limpet cofferdam system to widen the piers below water level. For Phase 3 of the project, MTI, a joint venture of Massman, Traylor Brothers, and IHI Inc., along with consulting engineer HNTB Corporation, devised a span-by-span method to erect the steel truss superstructure on 3 of the bridge's 4 spans. Because the trusses had to be lifted and placed around the existing bridge without interrupting rail, navigation, or automotive traffic, the independent cords were held plumb by 2 U-shaped stability frames. For all 3 of the big lifts, the trusses were barge positioned beneath the bridge, then lifted into place by strand jacks. MTI had a 48-hour auto traffic closure in which to make the second big lift. The contractor placed the 2,648-ton truss almost 9 hours ahead of schedule. That second big lift was really exciting for me because I got to be on the dance floor that was suspended beneath the bridge and look down onto the truss being lifted from the barge on the river. It was a glorious, cool day and one I'll remember for the rest of my life. The third lift went so quickly that the truss was halfway up by the time I arrived. That was just fine for the team, who had plenty of excitement during the course of the project. I met a lot of dedicated, hardworking people during the course of this project and don't know if I will ever cross paths with any of them again. However, I'm certain that our lives are forever entwined through the shared experience of what has been heralded as an engineering marvel, the historic widening of the UEP Long Bridge. This is Angèle Bergeron in New Orleans for ConstructionGumbo.com.